Hi guys, I hope that you are doing well, and today I would like to discuss the full moon in Aries that's happening on October 9th. And thank you so much for your messages, by the way. We are feeling much better. I would say that we are basically back to normal after the trip, no more jet lag, no more sicknesses. But I do feel like it's hard for me to keep the sicknesses away, maybe 2 weeks max, and then I get sick all over again. But I think it has something to do with uh, possibly post-COVID immune system, and also the fact that my kid is in daycare right now. I mean, not that you care to know about this in your full moon forecast, but I feel like this is the a reason why I've been feeling, some type of way. So I hope that soon enough both of our immune systems, mine and my son's, are gonna go back to normal, so that way, I don't have to get sick every 2 weeks. Or we don't have to get sick every 2 weeks. And yeah, so let's start with the full moon forecast. So I'm looking at it right now, looking at the chart of the event, and it's pretty nice. There is an opposition, obviously, between the moon and the sun in the signs of Aries and Libra, and sun in Libra is actually conjunct Venus. I feel like this full moon is about making a decision, making a very solid decision, and that decision is in your favor, right? It's in our favor rather than the partner's favor, rather than the group's favor. Whoever else is opposite of us is standing at the opposite side of the room, right? And it's not their time, it's our time. And we have to choose something for ourselves. We have to prioritize ourselves this time. And with Venus being there, I feel like a lot of relationships are going to come to the forefront. And it doesn't mean that it's bad just because the moon will be opposing Venus. In fact, I think it's going to be something that revolves around relationships, maybe a final decision regarding a relationship, maybe forgiveness, maybe a conversation with an apology could happen, right? Somebody that maybe is on bad terms, they could actually come around, around this time. And those that maybe want to end a certain relationship, they could have a green light as well. Finances, same issues or same situations that may be kind of revolving around personal relationships, they could also influence finances, or instead they could influence finances, if everything in your love life is kind of solid and there isn't really much new to happen there, then maybe financial dealings are going to come to the forefront. Maybe there's going to be something revolving, around your finances that's very important. But this full moon is about us, or not about us, but about you as an individual. What are your wishes? What are your desires? What would you like? What kind of outcome would you like for yourself? When I think about this full moon, it kind of reminds me of the card Nine of Cups. Even though Aries, it's a fire sign, it's a very fiery full moon. It definitely will be, okay? A lot of decisions, a lot of actions that we will be taking around this time will be kind of impulsive. Let's just put it that way. Fiery, quick, abrupt as well. But at the same time, I feel like it is associated with Nine of Cups in this particular case, with the opposition to Venus, right? Chiron is even there, but it's like, I want to do what brings me satisfaction, what brings me joy, what brings me the most positive outcome. I choose me. I don't choose the group. I don't choose, I guess, us. I choose me. However, this does not mean that the partnerships will be crumbling down, you know what I mean, just because you choose you. It's about finding compromise, but it almost seems like the other party will have to compromise with you and play on your terms. And I think it's fair. There may have been a situation that started on April 1st, around April, okay, after April, that is finally culminating now, or kind of growing into a different shape, different form. So, yeah. Now, who's gonna get lucky around this full moon? The lucky signs are, of course, fellow fire signs, Sagittarius and Leo. This full moon is actually trining my moon exact in Leo, so I'm kind of excited. But also, the lucky signs are actually air. Air signs, Gemini, Gemini, Aquarius, Libra, for you this full moon is going to be very important. However, I feel like if you are especially Libra rising, you're gonna get so much clarity about your relationships this time around that you will remember this full moon for a very long time. But I think that there's something lucky about it, with Venus conjunct your sun. If you are Libra, or just overall for the signs that this full moon is going to be trining, there's something optimistic about it. There's something positive. Yes, you may be, you know, changing a direction. You may be making a final decision. You may be cutting somebody out, possibly. But at the same time, it feels good. It feels good to do because you couldn't maybe do it for the last 6 months starting April. Or maybe you've been postponing something, you know, you've been procrastinating, and now it's like, I'm just gonna get it done. And once you get it done, it's almost like there's no way back. That's the Aries energy. I do it for me, and there is no way back. I'm not willing to go back and compromise after this. I'm not willing to go back and reevaluate this. So the decisions will be final around this full moon. Who is not gonna get so lucky? Well, I don't want to say unlucky, because it's simply gonna be important for you. Okay, maybe a little bit challenging at first, but I would say for the most part it's just important. For Cancer, for Capricorn. Okay, so Cancer, Capricorn, you guys are gonna be dealing with your status around this full moon. For some of you, career status. For others, home life. There's something changing there. There's something ending there, transforming. It's changing the direction, or I should say maybe it's moving up a little. But there's a lot that needs to be finished before it fully does, and that's where maybe the challenge may come up. But it will be more challenging for Sun in Capricorn and Sun in Cancer rather than Ascendant in Capricorn, Ascendant in Cancer. But of course, it depends on your personal chart. Okay, so let's move on to the signs. See how organized I am? The pages are just flying out of my notebook. So let's start with Aries, of course, the stars of the show, you and Libra. So if you are Sun in Aries, let me just say this right away. If you are Sun in Aries, yes, this can be very important. This can be very important when it comes to a father figure in your life, okay? Maybe like some kind of final step between you two, a final conversation, closure, the next step, right? But there's something that needs to be decided, needs to be completed. Could be with an authority figure, could be with a father figure, it could be your own status, your own authority changing around this time. But I feel like it's going to be honest with you, I feel like it's going to be stronger for Aries rising. So if you are Aries rising, stay for this, okay? First and seventh houses, these are areas of life that basically influence, these are the houses where the influence is basically on every area of life. No matter what I try and pinpoint, it's gonna be anything, because me personally, you know, and my clients and my friends and my family having full moon or new moon happen in the first or seventh houses would usually bring major changes. It's like almost like a personal eclipse kind of energy when it happens in the first or seventh houses, when it's just a regular full moon or new moon. You know, you could be conceiving, for example. You could be giving birth around this time. You could be selling a home, buying a home, moving. You could be starting a very important relationship, and yes, you could also be divorcing, right? So there could be so many different things. Legal matters, especially legal matters, some kind of negotiations, matters where you have to prove yourself, where you have to kind of stand up for yourself. Those things are very relevant for this full moon, and not just for this full moon, but if it's happening in your first house, okay? So that's why Aries rising, it is your time to shine. Aries sun, Aries moon, yes, you're also going to feel it, but I feel like you need just a little bit more in your chart to be really, you know, to be really, to be feeling all the benefits of it. It's not gonna harm. You know, it's not, but I think Aries rising is going to feel it much stronger in maybe more areas of life, and on a much broader scale where it will influence them long term. And this is where you choose you. This is where you do choose you. You do choose what you want. You do choose your desires, your ideas over someone else's. It can be done impulsively, but at the same time, I feel like it is done with love. And I feel like the parties that you are kind of standing against, it's not actually an argument. It's not actually competition. It's not a fight, right? It's not a battle where you have to be opposing them. It's more like seeking balance with that person and finding compromise, or people, right? It could be a group. And they have got Venus on their side, which means that they most likely are willing to compromise with you. Most likely they're willing to find smoother, solutions to the situation, whether it's a negotiation or a romantic partnership, right? Whatever this may be, financial deal of some kind. Especially if it's financial, if you've been waiting for a deal to come through, something to be sold, right? It's probably gonna happen, yeah. And romantic relationships as well. They're gonna come to the forefront. There will be conversations. There will be depth to the interactions with others, and I believe that you are going to win in this, okay? Whether it's an argument, a battle, negotiation, court case, or just a conversation between you and loved ones, you're going to prove your point here. You are going to be able to win this. And you would love to keep these people in your life, right? But you also want to do things your way because you are seeking that satisfaction. You're seeking, to prioritize yourself this time around. And you will succeed at that. Like I said, any area of life could be touched, starting with children, ending with selling homes. You know what I mean? But the whole point is to know that you're supposed to prioritize yourself here, okay? I feel like the opposition is gonna approach you with kindness, with love, with understanding, and with willingness to reach balance with you. So I think if, for example, you are facing a very difficult court case, if you're facing a difficult interview, conversation, right? Something. I think this full moon is going to help you. With Venus being there, with Chiron being there, it's going to help you solve that issue successfully. And you are finally able to clear the path and start working on something that you want. And I find that to be really nice. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching, and now we're moving on to Taurus. Hi Taurus. So for you, October 9th, full moon in Aries is happening in the 12th house. Watch out for any kind of sleep issues around this full moon. This is ruled by fire, Mars, and it can make you very, let's just say, agitated, maybe a little bit of, it can add a little bit of nervous tension, or it can just add a lot of duties, a lot of responsibilities that you have a hard time just falling asleep. That could be as simple as that. It can bring insomnia. It can bring too much ambition, too much excitement, too much fire, where it's really hard to calm down. And I've been currently running around and doing a lot of things, and I have a hard time falling asleep. I'm a Taurus sun, but I also have Pisces ascendant, which, has a Saturn moving through the 12th house. So whether I have this full moon or not, I'm not going to sleep until March. But so this is, I would watch out for that. There is a little bit of agitation, a little bit of too much excitement, but it could be for the good reasons. You know what I mean? It doesn't just have to be because you're busy, because there's so much going on. It could be because maybe something good is happening. So I would say the full moon in the 12th house this is a green light to come out with an idea, to come out with a project of some kind. A lot of you may have been working on something that can improve your finances. Some kind of a financial deal maybe has been behind the scenes, hasn't been willing to come out, right? And I'm talking mostly about Taurus rising here. Something maybe that you've been creating or working on details on, like working on behind the scenes since potentially April 1st, maybe a little bit before April, a little bit after. Okay, this may be coming to the surface now and may actually be bringing fruits of your labor. It's something exciting. It's something that with the opposition to Venus can bring you the fruits in terms of finances, okay, like an actual gain, financial gain, a reward. Rewards can be different, of course, with Venus, right? But we mostly imagine probably money. So this could bring money. This could be something that comes to the surface, something that you no longer have to hide from others. You no longer have to, you know, just kind of work on by yourself. You can either now work with a group on it, or it can be judged now and you can be paid for it in some way. You know, it can be showcased and so on. Another thing is you could quite literally come out of the dark. It's like, you know, when things happen in the 12th house, sometimes you are not very noticed. You're kind of hidden in the shadows, whether you like it or not. So no matter how much you maybe try to get recognized, no matter how much you try to show yourself, show your the things that you've been working on, how much you've been trying, sometimes, unfortunately, it's really hard to do. And you know, with 12th house energy, so this could be maybe something again started in April, and now it's time to shine, it's time to come out. People are gonna start noticing you now. For example, I don't know, you were working in a hidden corner in the office and now you're getting a new desk in the middle of the room. You know, it could be as literal as that. But it's got its benefits. With Venus opposition, it's got its benefits. It's got some kind of rewards and some actually pleasant energy, I believe. It could also just be a spiritual practice that's making more sense now. You know, spiritual practice that you're actually taking action on now. Maybe you were studying something for the last 6 months and now you're going to put it into practice. You know, theory is great, but practice is even better. So it could be, yeah, for example, like me, you know, I've been studying runes for a while, and again, Taurus sun. This isn't very relatable, you know, to Taurus suns, mostly Taurus rising, but still, you know, I've been studying runes for a very long time. Have I been doing rune magic, like bind runes and stuff? No, only theory. You know, have not started incorporating that in my practice. However, maybe it's time to start. You know, 6 months of learning, maybe it's time to start now. But yeah, that's what I have for you, dear Taurus. I hope that this was helpful, and now we're moving on to Gemini. Hi, Gemini. I hope that you are doing well. October 9th, full moon in Aries is happening in your 11th house. That's a very friendly full moon for you specifically. You know, I feel like you could... with Venus being there, you know, in the opposition to this energy, I feel like there is some kind of a balance that you're coming to with a certain group of people. It can be as literal as, I don't know, a gym group, a church group, a forum that you like to go on, some kind of online community, whatever this is here. You are making changes within that community. You maybe feel like you want to expand. Maybe you want to, if anything, get rid of it because, you know, it is still a full moon. You are making changes here. But at the same time, you know, you may feel like you want to possibly change your approach towards a certain community, or maybe even start a community. But with full moon in Aries, that's been basically the energy of the last 6 months since April. It could be that, you know, you started working on something, you were building the community up, or maybe you were doing research and now you're going to kind of open that group to the public. Or maybe it could be an online business as well. For example, you've been making small baby steps in the last 6 months and now you're going to come out with something more major, more exciting, something fiery. You know what I mean? It's got that energy of fire to it. and it's all that you're doing by yourself. It's like you're proud of it because a lot of it you've done by yourself, Aries. It's about also choosing yourself, choosing what you want to do rather than what the group wants you to do, choosing what you want to do rather than what your friends want you to do, and so on. A very easy interpretation how this can resonate is a friend can leave either a friendship or town. This is what happened in my case. You know, my friend moved away. We're still friends, but she moved away, you know, so that could be the case with full moon in the 11th house. Not belonging to a certain community, understanding it very well, but at the same time being excited for the future and the new acquaintances, the new connections, that can be a very major factor here, especially if you are Gemini rising. Overall, it's very friendly. Venus makes a trine to you. You know, the full moon is making a sextile to you. It's really, it's not bad. It's not bad. It is about choosing a direction, possibly with or without a group. And also some kind of financial benefits could come from an online business if you are involved in one, or financial benefits could come, you know, if you are involved in some kind of a team project as well. So thank you guys so much for watching, and now we're moving on to Cancer. Hi Cancer, you are one of the, I want to say, I don't want to say stars of the show, but it will definitely impact you, whether you are Cancer Sun or Cancer Rising. Okay, Cancer Moon, not so much. Maybe emotionally, you may be feeling overly emotional on this day, you know, especially with Aries. It's like a lot of fiery emotions, kind of impulsive, you know, maybe you're gonna want to rush and make some quick decisions, whatever it may be, right? But I would say that for you, this full moon happening in the 10th house is all about your status, is all about your future, is all about what you have achieved maybe in the last few months, like starting April, for example. Or maybe even before then, you know, what you have been achieving, either at a certain job or overall in life. You know, this can talk about your social status. This can talk about your career path. This can talk about a relationship with an authority figure. But here, what's interesting is you choose you. You acknowledge what others are saying. For example, your family, you know, what kind of path they want to put you on. You acknowledge it. They come to you with kindness, they come to you with love, but you do what you find necessary. And yes, you know, there can be conflict at first, even though there is, you know, Venus there can be conflict in some way where, you know, you know that somebody's coming at you with good intentions, but you also have good intentions for yourself. And this is your life, and this is your future, and it's you who is going to live this life, and you who is going to have this future, and you need to find your own path. So there can be, you know, a conflict with someone that's around you all the time. It can be a conflict whether or not you should move for a job. It can be a conflict whether or not you should quit a job. You know, it may be a conflict, but at the same time, you're reaching balance around this full moon. And maybe this particular area of life has been somewhat turbulent in the last 6 months, where maybe you had a hard time finding a direction. Maybe you had a hard time just balancing everything out, you know, finding a perfect schedule for yourself or something. But now it is going to be time to sort everything out. For Cancer Sun, it might be a little bit more challenging because it's just a square. For Cancer Rising, it's, I want to say, simply more important because it's not just a square, it's coming from the 10th house. So it affects your status in the world, it affects your career. This is a good time to prove what you're worth, either at the job interview or to someone whoever you feel like you need to prove yourself to, which I hate, you know, when I have to like say something like this, so you have to prove yourself. But there are some cases in life where we have to, and I feel like it might be one of those cases, and you're going to succeed. You are going to succeed. You may feel a little impulsive. You may feel like you want to rush into something, like you just want to get rid of it all. You may feel like somebody is testing you, but in reality, whoever is dealing with you around this time, they actually have good intentions towards you. They're coming to you with more soft approach. Okay, it's a good full moon, not crazy. So I would say that, you know, take it, listen to those people, but of course choose what's best for you, because full moon in Aries talks about us choosing ourselves, prioritizing ourselves, because this is the life that we have to live and nobody else. So thank you guys so much for watching, and now I'm moving on to Leo. Hi Leo, I hope that you are doing well. So you guys are the lucky ones, okay? Full moon is happening in your 9th house. Beautiful, beautiful area of life for you. This talks about a journey. For some of you, a spiritual journey. For others, it's a physical journey. But it's either about to finally end or it's about to start. And it could be that you have been doing a lot of preparations in the last few months for this journey. Since April, for example. It could be that maybe you have had something in mind, some kind of a vision in mind, but you didn't know how to necessarily approach it. You didn't have the tools, you didn't have the right opportunities maybe to make it work. But now it's going to be much easier. You know, around this full moon, I feel like you either will get the right opportunity, you will either meet the right person, communicate with the right person, or maybe somehow the gates or the sky is going to open for you. You know, that you are going to be able to go wherever you need to. You're gonna be able to maybe enroll in the program that you've been wanting, and so on. However, of course, this can also talk about you know, things already completing at this point, but they bring a result. They're not just completing here empty, you know, for nothing. They bring a reward with them, they bring a result. And Venus, you know, being opposite of your 9th house, being in the 3rd house, it can literally bring some sort of a document. It could bring some kind of green light, maybe to get a license now, to get some, and not just driver's license I'm talking about different kinds of license. You know, maybe some kind of a certificate, diploma. There's something very valuable to you in the 3rd house that it's bringing, and it's either because of all that work that you've done in the last 6 months, or the work starts now, but once it actually ends, it brings that great result. For Leo moon, for Leo sun, this could be a really good, well, for Leo moon, this is a nice time emotionally for you. You're gonna feel harmony with your emotions. You're gonna be aligned with your emotions. It's gonna be a great time to maybe do something nice for yourself, to pamper yourself. Around this full moon, me and my husband are going to Circus du Soleil. So, you know, I've always wanted to see the show, never got a chance to. So here, you know, I think that's a good thing to do. Me being a Leo moon, it's a really nice thing to do at this kind of event. For Leo moon, for Leo sun, this could be something regarding your status, some good news regarding your status that may come up, or maybe you may get closure with a father figure or some kind of authority figure. You know, something good could come around. But I hope that this was helpful, dear Leo. Thank you so much for watching, and now I'm moving on to Virgo. Hi Virgo, hope you're doing well. So this full moon is happening in your 8th house. 8th house... 8th house is a tricky house, okay? It is a tricky one, but at the same time, there's Venus involved here. And, oh boy, for some of you, this is really interesting, romantic experiences, sexual experiences. This is something deep and almost super personal is coming out. Not a secret, no. It's more like your sexuality is coming out around this time, possibly. And confidence, self-confidence. It may be triggered by another person. It may be triggered by something that you do for yourself. Like you pamper yourself and you feel much better about yourself, and it kind of impacts your relationships, your intimate relationships and so on in a really nice way. Especially if you're Virgo rising, okay? For Virgo sun, it's really not gonna be too significant, but you know, something could change. values are changing here. And these values are all about you. You know, it's like you are choosing what's best for you, what kind of values you're willing to resonate with right now. And if somebody doesn't agree with the same values, they're not going to be on the same path with you in this life. This is kind of how it is. It's either you're with me or you're without me. There is no middle. You know, you can't just stand there and wait for me, or you cannot join me on this path. It's very much black and white, you know, yes or no. So I feel like in this case, it could be some kind of a strike of self-confidence that comes either from something that you do for yourself, something that someone else does for yourself, right? Or maybe it's regarding money. Like, for example, I don't know, some kind of a deal comes through, or you get the job of your dreams. I don't know, something here that's nice and financial for you that makes you feel more secure, makes you feel more self-confident. And of course, it could also be regarding sexuality, regarding overall just looks, attractiveness, right, and femininity, or, you know, different people will be watching this. So that's really nice. Even though full moon is in Aries, right? But there is definitely place to femininity here. I feel like it's more like Queen of Wands or King of Wands. Okay, it's the energy of sexuality. It's the energy of fire, and it's definitely something that is instinct driven. Okay. On the other hand, how this can play out is that you may figure something out with a very personal relationship in your life. You could finally get closure with this person, or you could actually move on to the next step. But this conversation that may be had, this situation that may come up between you and someone else is going to be very personal, very intimate, very deep, very private. It's like you're digging in each other's souls to get this conversation out, and it's going to be very beneficial. On the other hand, this can play out as a financial deal coming to fruition. For example, you getting approved for a bank loan. I know I jumped from sexuality to banks all of a sudden, but it is what it is. And, you know, it can be a great sum of money that may come your way, whether you earned it or not. It could also be a time of secrets coming to the surface, or you actually moving on from something that traumatized you in the past, something really deep, psychological, painful, something that was stuck with you for a while. You're able to find the tools, able to find the opportunities to say goodbye to that trauma, and that's also really nice. So yeah, Virgo, this is a multi-dimensional type of full moon, but I think you're going to come out as a winner. Especially if you're a Virgo rising, you're definitely going to be a winner at this. You know what you're worth, and you're going to take the right people with you into your future, and that's really nice to see. Also really nice to see you opening up, you know, maybe not be so conservative, you know, or trusting, like become trusting, I mean. So that way you can really align with someone, not just intimately, right, but spiritually as well. But thank you guys so much for watching, and now I'm moving on to Libra. Hi Libra, hope that you are doing well and you are the stars of the show, along with Aries. So this full moon is happening in your 7th house, and I was just telling Aries that you know, when we have full moon, new moon in the 1st and 7th houses, it's almost like a personal eclipse, even though it can be just an ordinary full moon and new moon for others. No, for you, this is an important event. And this talks about 1st and 7th house is basically impacting any area of life. It can be about children being conceived or children being born. It can be about buying property, selling property. It could be about negotiations, like really defending yourself in court, for example, some kind of financial deals coming through, relationships, right, getting married or meeting the one, or possibly getting divorced, right? There are so many areas of life that this can actually touch. And in this case, of course, you know, this is gonna be between you and other people for sure. It's not just going to be a full moon where only you are involved and you are there with your psychological stuff and like you're going through it. No, you're gonna be very much involved with others, and it's gonna be a lot of direct communication, and some of it even might be a little confrontational. However, it's all done to pick a winner in this, and it's done for your own good. I feel like there is some kind of a very crucial, very important conversation that is going to come around that will be about intimacy, will be about self-value, will be about what to do next. You know, do you compromise or do you kind of move out of the way? So in this case, dear Libra, you may have to compromise, actually. I cannot say that the partners are gonna win, but I would say that the partners are gonna play a major role in a certain decision. And you may have to really listen what these people are telling you around this time. If it, by the way, if this is some kind of a negotiations, if you have to defend yourself in court, be very diplomatic and know that you are going to most likely succeed at this, okay? With Venus being conjunct Sun in Libra around this time. If it's a personal relationship, be very, very connected to what the partner is telling you around this time, what they even want from you. Balance is crucial here, seeking balance, because you and the other party are going to figure out how you can remain the individuals, but be together at the same time, be a team at the same time. So it might be a little bit challenging for some, or it might be easier, right? But there is a final decision that's being made here. And yes, it is something that you need to do for yourself. It's about time, you know, especially maybe in the last 6 months, you've been needing to make a certain change. But at the same time, you know, it's also going to be something that benefits your partnerships as well. So I don't know what this is, you know, but I think it's going to be important, and I think you approach it with love, you approach it with kindness, and if you do, right, others will as well. There is compromise seen here. That's for Libra rising. Okay, for Libra sun, this can be the energy of possibly something going on between you and either a father figure, an authority figure of some kind. They may oppose you temporarily, okay? They may oppose you to really get the truth out of you, to really get the final say out of you. It's almost like they feel like that maybe you've been tiptoeing kind of around the bush, and it's time to have a clear conversation, whether it's a father figure, authority figure of some kind, somebody that you look up to, maybe at a job, okay? And this could also be a status change. It's opposing you in a way where it needs you to raise your voice. It needs you to say something. It needs you to confirm that this is what you want. And then you'll have it. You'll get it. So I hope that this was helpful, dear Libra. Thank you so much for watching. And now we're moving on to Scorpio. Hi Scorpio, I hope that you are doing well. So this full moon is happening in your 6th house. 6th house, huh? I feel like here you might be, I hate to say like change your routine. Well, at the same time, you know, routines can be so different, and they can dramatically change our health. They can dramatically change you know, our schedule, our lifestyle overall. It's some kind of a lifestyle change. And I feel like it's an active one, and I feel like it's, you know, something that's beneficial for you, something that allows you to have more time for yourself. So you can deal with your hobbies, so you can see your friends, for example, so you can nourish yourself somehow with this. Because Aries, you know, this can be that selfish energy that we all need sometimes. And it's also the energy of action. It's not just waiting for something to happen. It's actually you being the one that does the work. And sixth house, you know, for the last 6 months, maybe it's been quite chaotic there. Maybe your schedule has been all over the place. Maybe your health has been suffering because of that. There could also be some weird stuff happening at work in the last 6 months. You know, maybe you felt like something has started there, something has shifted at your workplace, but it hasn't quite brought you the benefits that they have promised then. But they are actually coming now, because there's Venus there opposing the 6th house from the 12th. You know, this could be some kind of hidden prize coming, some kind of a hidden reward out of the blue. It could be something that you already stopped waiting for and now it's here, you know. And Venus in the 12th house, that's that kind of like the why do I always forget the words every time I film a forecast? I forget words, and I feel like it always happens either on Sagittarius or Scorpio. Oh my gosh, are you serious right now? Give me a second. Treasure. Treasure. So, you know, it's like a hidden, buried treasure that's about to get dug up. That's the energy of this full moon, possibly, and it's something that benefits you directly, just you, Aries, just you. How else can this play out? You may finally start taking care of your health, or you may be diagnosed now. You may find the problem, you may find the solution to the problem as well, because still Venus being in the 12th, you know, it's got a psychological slash spiritual slash emotional meaning to it as well. So something regarding your health could be coming up to the surface, but with Venus there, it's like you can find the doctor now. Maybe you can try some untraditional medicine now, or maybe you can go to a retreat now. You know, there is definitely some kind of a relief that comes to your routine. And yes, it may be a quick decision, like I'm taking a vacation tomorrow, I'm not working starting Monday. You know, I'm going to, I don't know, Bali. You know, of course, this could be extreme, but at the same time, this is a full moon in Aries, and the decisions that you make, they're very much final. And it's something that you've been leading up to for the last 6 months. It's something that reached its final point. It's like, enough, I just can't take it anymore. I need to do something about it. There's also a potential for some kind of a connection that may even be romantic, okay, but it's somehow connected to work. That could also be the case. This was for Scorpio rising. For Scorpio sun, to be honest with you, I don't see this being super significant. Even for Scorpio rising, it's not that major, but it's something that is definitely final, and something that you'll notice it. You'll notice it for sure, but I feel like it may be a more important event for Scorpio rising rather than Scorpio sun. Thank you guys so much for watching, and now I'm moving on to Sagittarius. Hi Sagittarius, I hope that you are doing well, and full moon is in Aries in the 5th house for you, October 9th. That's a wonderful house, wonderful placement. Whether you are Sagittarius rising or Sagittarius sun or Sagittarius moon, you are going to be impacted in a positive way. Let's just get Sagittarius sun and moon out of the way. So Sagittarius sun, I feel like in this particular full moon is going to improve a relationship with possibly an authority figure in your life, or maybe even your own authority. It's going to be kind to you, it's going to be loving to you, nurturing, you know, I mean, Venus is in Libra, okay, so why not? I feel like this is something that is going to help you get your status back, or complete a certain step and move on to the next one. Something that's beneficial for your status, something that's beneficial for your public image, I would say. But also something that may be beneficial with someone in authority position, or someone that you look up to, or maybe a parent. For Sagittarius moon, it's just a nice day. Okay, for me, I'm a Leo moon. I'm going to Orlando to see Circus du Soleil. So I've been wanting to do it for a very long time, and I'm doing it on the full moon. And yeah, I feel like, you know, if you want to kind of treat yourself to something, if you want to pamper yourself, that's going to be a nice time to do so. And for Sagittarius rising in the 5th house, you know, this could be, for example, a period of time where, let's say you've been trying to conceive since April, okay, April 1st to be exact. Now it can work out. Okay, this could also be the time where you may be, I don't know, you may find out, for example, that you are pregnant, or you may find out the gender, which I would say that most likely it is going to be a boy, okay, based on which sign this full moon is in. But also, you know, this just talks about children overall, you know, the very fun, very exciting energy around children, whether it is working with children, having your own children, children maybe being grown up and somehow, you know, bringing certain important information, some kind of final decisions. You know, there could be different steps in your children's life that are shifting, and you're the direct witness of that. But there's something to be proud of, because you see how independent your child is, you know, how much they're changing, how much they're able to do in this world, and you love it. If you don't have children, if you have nothing to do with children, romance is coming to the forefront. There is a final decision here regarding romance, and I do believe that you definitely choose you. Yes, you I feel like there could also be a little bit of, not tension necessarily, but a little bit of difference of opinions when it comes to your friends, what your friends think, and when it comes to this romantic partnership, what they think. And you're not sure what to go with. You're not sure of what you actually would like. Would you like to still be involved in a social life, or do you want to kind of isolate and be one-on-one with this romantic partnership, right? These could be the questions that may be coming up. But overall, you know, if there is a romantic relationship, it is about making changes for yourself. It is about either compromising with a partner or choosing the right path for yourself, whether they meet you halfway or not. But I think it's pretty positive here. Overall, you come out as a winner, and you come out very self-confident about what you've done, and it's a final decision. That's just something to keep in mind, okay? Final decision here, for sure. Yes, you know, this could also just be new acquaintances, a lot of new connections, and they're pleasant, they're nice, you like them. Friends, romantic partners, maybe you're gonna start dating again. Maybe your dating journey on Tinder, for example, is over because you found the one. And now this relationship is going to move on to the next step, and you feel very confident about it, and you feel like it's not pressing your freedom by any means. You know, it's helping you grow, and it's helping you evolve, and it's beneficial for your soul and just overall for your future. And of course, you know, if you are into online business or any kind of your own business or creativity, especially for creativity, this full moon is so great. If you have to be on stage around this time, it's beautiful, it's wonderful, you're gonna win. If you have a contest, you're gonna win. Unless you have some other crappy energies in your natal chart, but I think you're gonna win. And overall, you know, something regarding your business that could really speed up. You know, you could make some really nice changes there. It could bring financial rewards as well. Wonderful time, dear Sagittarius. I hope that this was helpful. And now I'm moving on to Capricorn. Hi Capricorn, I hope that you are doing well. So this full moon is happening in the 4th house. It's an important one for you on October 9th. And I feel like the status comes to the forefront. It's like, what do I do about this? There is a very strong pull towards either family or some kind of a change of living conditions. Maybe you're planning to move. Or maybe you have been trying to move for the last 6 months, potentially starting April. There has been a lot going on, possibly in your household or on the home front generally. And it's just, you feel a strong pull there, at least around this full moon. You know, and you feel like things need to be set, things need to be done. This is for Capricorn rising, okay? For Capricorn sun, I feel like this could be, something is challenging your authority here. Something is challenging your identity, your personality, you know, something here is trying to offer you a different approach. And you feel like, yes, it's valuable. it's good, it's important, you know, Venus is also there. But at the same time, it's like, but I've been working on my own thing for a very long time. What do I choose? You know, and the key here is to choose something that brings you satisfaction, brings you joy, but also something that makes sense to others, and something that compromises with other people's beliefs. Because at the end of the day, there is Venus involved, right? You want something for yourself, but as long as it doesn't destroy everything around you, you know, as long as it's not crazily selfish. So that's the key here. But you feel like maybe you need to figure something out regarding your own authority, or maybe with authority figure, or maybe with a father figure, or maybe it's your own identity that's being challenged in some way, but it's for your own good. It's putting you on the path of independence. For Capricorn rising, this is the time where you need to decide what's going to be taking more of your time. Is it the career path that's most important right now, or is it the home life? You need to decide, basically, which one you're gonna move towards. And you know, I feel like overall career is offering really good rewards right now. It's kind of, you know, it's luring you in, because you understand that you need to level up somehow, or you need to stick around somehow. You understand that the benefits either are coming now because you have stuck around, or they will in the future. So it's either, you know, the time of final decisions, that here I stick with this career path now. Yes, maybe I won't be home as much, or I maybe have to switch homes for this, you know, I have to move, but I know it's beneficial for my future. Or this is the end period where, you know, you've chosen something in the past, maybe in April, and you've done your work, and now you're getting some kind of a reward, or some kind of a clarity on the situation, so you know what to choose next, or you know how to maneuver your life, your lifestyle for something that you desire, for something that you want. I hope that this made sense, dear Capricorn. Thank you so much for watching, and now I'm moving on to Aquarius. Hi Aquarius, I hope that you are doing well. And for you, this full moon is making a sextile to you. It's happening in your 3rd house if you're an Aquarius rising. And overall, I mean, it is making a sextile to you if you are Aquarius sun as well. But I would say, to be honest with you, for Aquarius sun, it really isn't that significant. Maybe you may not even feel it, to be honest. So I would watch this particular forecast for Aquarius if you are Aquarius rising. So for you in the 3rd house, a document can come up, a document that you worked hard on for the last 6 months. Maybe lots of documents needed to be signed, needed to be obtained, running around banks, notary, I don't know, something, statements, you know, you needed to run around, you needed to fill out certain forms, you needed to wait for the government to give you a green light or something like that. Well, that document could be coming right now, and you could feel very proud. You know, you could feel proud because you've done it all on your own, full moon in Aries, and now it's offering you some really nice larger, wider horizons. You know, Venus is opposing this full moon from the 9th house. Yes, you now have something in your hands probably by the time of this full moon that allows you to grab bigger, grab larger, you know, go forward more, obtain more, kind of aim for more. You get it. So I think that it's going to be interesting for you. You know, if it's not a document, that maybe it is, for example, if you are dealing with social media or something, there could be a final decision that you may make around this time. It's like, this is it, I'm doing this, and it's actually nice, again, from the 9th house. You know, it's bringing you some nice news, it's bringing you some nice opportunities. It could be that, for example, you're getting a diploma of some kind, a certificate, or you're enrolling in a program. Or maybe you finish certain program, and now there are doors that open to a new program, to maybe a more beneficial program, or some kind of extension, and so on. Yeah, education could be coming to fruition now, but with benefits and with some substantial results. And it feels good because you've done it all. You know, you've done it all on your own, you've done it all for yourself, for your own independence, and you cannot feel anything but pride about this. Acquaintances as well. Either some kind of a connection, an acquaintance that you may have had maybe starting April of this year. It will bring its fruits, some kind of a fruitful union, or maybe it is going to be a new connection, and it can turn into anything: romantic, business, friendship, whatever this may be. But it could be a very important connection with someone ambitious, someone fiery, someone very interesting, intriguing, and you're gonna want to be involved in that connection for a while. But thank you guys so much for watching, and now we're moving on to Pisces. Hi Pisces, I hope that you are doing well. So your full moon is happening in the second house, in the sign of Aries on October 9th. So the second house is, of course, the resources, finances, values, and so on. I feel like there is a specific source of income that is gonna kick in somehow. It's gonna bring you a reward. It's gonna bring you the result. It could be maybe that you've been saving up for something for the last 6 months, and now you finally have enough and you are doing something with this money. You're purchasing something big for yourself, right? But there's definitely something beneficial that this money is being put towards. But it could be, like I said, the story of the last 6 months, like starting April 1st or even before then. You know, maybe there was something that you were working towards, and now here we go. On the other hand, like I said, you know, this could be a source of income that finally starts bringing you income. You know, that's also amazing, because it could be that for the last 6 months you were trying to kind of adjust it, you know, you were trying to make it work, you were seeing how this is gonna maybe affect your brand, affect your business, affect your company or something, and now it's starting to bring fruits. That's great, right? However, I feel like this full moon can be about self-value, and I'm not even talking about finances. I mean, of course, this could be, you know, a new source of income, or this could be a purchase, or, you know, I feel like it's about how you value yourself. What you put out, that's right, what you put out, you get, right? And vice versa into the world. And I feel like there has been a shift in the last 6 months where maybe you started loving yourself more, maybe you started understanding yourself more, listening to your to what your soul is telling you, to what your heart is telling you. Maybe you are starting to become more kind to yourself as well. But it's all helping you in a way that lifts you up spiritually, emotionally, physically, in a way where you not only maybe like yourself more, but you're also opening up to others, you know, because it is opposing the 8th house, and Venus is in the 8th house, talking about intimacy, talking about those private, intimate relationships where trust is crucial. I feel like something here is transforming. You know, you are maybe becoming, I don't want to say more trusting maybe, but you're becoming more self-confident, more in tune with yourself, and that impacts your relationships, your close relationships, because obviously if we don't love ourselves, then our relationships also suffer, of course, right? So I feel like it's about that. I feel like it's about looking at yourself and understanding that, you know, I'm great, and I've gone through a lot, and, you know, my life has been super challenging, you know, for the last few months, for the last few years, forever, I don't know. But I love myself. I'm great. And when you see it, others see it as well. I think that's what it's about, guys, really. But of course, you know, I cannot deny the fact that maybe you could be getting some money, or a certain source of income could be starting to work for you very well. Or maybe a major purchase may come around, or a major gift, you know, a major gift as well. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that this was helpful. Oh, did I mention, okay, so that was for Pisces rising. For Pisces sun, you're not really gonna feel it too much, okay? I feel like you will still be possibly getting that sense that, you know, you are becoming more yourself maybe, or your values are changing, and you understand what kind of people you want to see around you, right? Because you respect yourself and so on, you treat yourself right. But it won't be as impactful as maybe for Pisces rising. That's what I wanted to mention. Again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.